I had another inquiry about a 30-day stay, actually it's a 28-day stay from a nurse.
Oh, okay.
And again, they asked for a discount. And I responded before I actually got the text from the no pride pricing course, which I did again.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
I didn't leave an opening for them to make a counteroffer or say what they wanted. And I was wondering, like, how would you follow up with a communication to see if you could actually save the sale, or would you just kind of like let it go and go on to the next one?
I'm a fall on the sword with a little confess and attack. Here's what I mean. Hey, Frank, didn't want to bother you, but I realized I was talking to some friends who work with nurses often, and I think I may have made a mistake in my prior communication. After talking to them, I wanted to present you with some additional options, assuming you'd still like a quality place to stay. And then I'd go into what you would be planning on putting there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
That's the way to do it.
So here's the other aspect of it, and I'm kind of like sorting this out in dialogue for myself.
Sure.
Is the price that's the list price is about $5 a day above break even, because I didn't adjust the price after I redid.
Understood.
And it's also a little bit above what the market is presenting. Because I checked Furnace Finders, I checked some other sources for full place like nursing stays.
Yeah, your list price should always be higher, especially than the Furnish Finder price. Like almost always.
Okay, good.
Be close to
okay.
Furnish Finders is willing to.
So that resolved that. And I had the thought that I would rather even lose a little bit of money, like come down from break even a little bit, and also not have to deal with it for 28 days, or not have to, have move-ins, move-outs like that, right?
I hear you, except I would prefer you do that if you get something you actually want, meaning the length of stay typically. So I tend to only give the longer your stay, the better your price. Does that make sense? So if you want the best pricing, then great, you can have it, but in order to get it, I've got to get something too, right?
Right,
now, which in this case is going to be, length of stay for the most part. Now, with that being said, because you've already advertised or gotten near a lower number, I would begin to think about additional services to offer, maybe additional cleanings. That's an easy one. Food delivery, maybe something, Uber credits, something you can do to create a situation whereby you can make it some additional margin on the transaction is what I would be looking at as a part of the package, as well as getting a longer term. So I would want to get a longer term with some extras so that now we're off of the rate per day focus and it's more the total package of the experience. Make sense?
It does.
That's what I would do.
All right, I got another one. It might be
go for it.
Price Labs or Wheelhouse?
It's 6 and 1/2 dozen in the other. I'm good with either. I was actually talking to the CEO of Wheelhouse yesterday. We might be able to arrange something to get some additional training for us here, which is great. But I prefer Wheelhouse's interface, and the functionality between both of them is pretty much the same. There are some small differences, but they are very, very negligible in my experience. I've used both. I've switched back and forth between both of them. I cannot document any substantial revenue increase with using one over the other. And they both respond from a customer service standpoint reasonably the same. The only thing I can say is test them in your area. So there is a geographic nature to them because it's relative to the data that they are able to collect for a geographic region.
Right.
So that is important. So, but Price Labs is more in the center of the United States. And I think they're in Chicago. So maybe they'll be better for you than Wheelhouse in Denver, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Use either one right now
All right, cool.
until one of the CEOs tells me something different, because I've not been able to come up with a substantial, what if I could get both of them at the same time, like battle it out or
Compete.
something.
Yeah, get them to compete.
See what I can do.
Yeah.
Because that is now fun.
That'll be fun. Yeah. Okay, sweet. And, all right, how do we set the different the minimum advertised pricing on Price Labs or or Wheelhouse, whatever one you're using? Is that we're setting it in there, right?
Yes. So you've got to, what I typically tell everyone to do, and again, that on Wednesdays, go through it with Ryan or your coach, is to set it all based upon, so as you make everything work for Airbnb, and the only thing you really have to do is apply a markup to any additional channel. That way you don't have to try to redo it from scratch. If you make it all work towards Airbnb, then every other channel is just a percentage markup, whatever that might be.